Jonathan Majors is back in the news again. Yesterday, they were talking to us about this. People got mad when they saw the video that posted from yesterday's episode today because they didn't realize that we hadn't got around to the update yet. More alleged victims have come forward and are working with the New York District Attorney. There are no names given on who these women were, so I'm not sure. We may be able to figure out who they are.
Is he about to get Me Too'd?
Again, right? So it says they're cooperating with the DA's office. And this is like one of those things where it feels like he has the worst lawyer. It really does feel like his lawyer doesn't know what he's doing. The more I see it, the more I see of it. If you really look at the story here, I'm going to pull it up from TMZ. First of all, I saw a video earlier that pointed this out. The scoop that goes for the abuse victims coming forward goes to Variety.
Yes.
Which is like I guess what you would call like a credible news site. But then the leaks that come forward that supposedly prove his innocence, even though they don't really do that, go to TMZ.
Right.
I guess the idea would be that TMZ more people will see TMZ than will see Variety.
Maybe. I don't know. Variety isn't really the type of website that posts, leaked tip videos. You know?
So it says Jonathan Majors video, witness proves I didn't strike my ex-girlfriend. She went clubbing after. Okay.
They also showed video of her using her right hand, which she claimed had a broken finger on it after the incident.
That means literally nothing. Like you can pick up a glass without. You can pick up a glass with a broken finger.
Why was she
out
clubbing afterwards, though?
No idea.
Is kind of bizarre.
I mean, the human mind isn't so linear that you think I just had a traumatic incident. I'm going to go to my bedroom and ruminate on said incident, drink a glass of wine, and go to bed. That's not how people work.
Yeah, I know.
That's not a thing.
It doesn't seem like either of these people live a particularly healthy lifestyle.
No, not at all.
Anyway.
And so they leak this footage and say that it says she suffered a broken finger and a laceration behind her ear during the altercation. However, Chaudhry, that's Priya Chaudhry is his lawyer, said that they have proof that is a complete lie. She says they have hours of security footage showing the woman that went clubbing, got drunk after Majors left her in the car. Well, when you've had an emotional experience, going out and getting drunk is actually a perfectly normal thing for people to do after they've had an emotional experience.
I guess.
I would argue that that's probably more normal than what? Going home and just sitting around?
Okay, it looks like she was like right up front by the DJ in this club.
Yeah. And it says, the other question I want to know is that they said that they have the video from the taxi cab that proves his innocence. Why isn't that what you're leaking? Why are you leaking useless footage?
The lawyer is like, we have irrefutable proof. You might have irrefutable proof that no abuse was perpetrated inside the taxi cab, but if the woman alleges anything else happened outside of that incident, you have more problems to deal with. And now that you have multiple accusers,
exactly,
you can't possibly have irrefutable evidence against all of them.
Do you think it's possible that the reason why it seemed like it was blown out of proportion is that the people that have pulled out just had early access to this information and knew this was coming before we did?
Well, we said it was overblown because there have been literally countless men in Hollywood that have been Me Too'd with varying degrees of validity to the allegations leveled against them.
Yep.
And it's really interesting to watch the media's stink bug. The media's reaction to each one of those incidents.
Yeah.
And how hard they go after somebody in a depersoning campaign.
I watched a video earlier where Zach from Comics Matter does this video where he's talking about this situation. I'm like, why is he talk? It's not the type of thing he would normally talk about. And what he was doing was critiquing this guy who made this video where he said, he joyfully talks about how they can use this situation to get rid of Kang and bring in Doctor Doom instead. And it's playing the Avengers hero music in the background. And the guy is just, his eyes are glistening with happiness over the fact that they could possibly bring in Doctor Doom because a bunch of women got assaulted by this guy.
It's kind of a little bit bankrupt.
Well, yeah, it shows kind of how far we've detached ourselves from the culture.
Another disgusting take that I've seen flying around about Jonathan Majors' situation is not only that people say only black men get Me Too'd, which is not the case at all.
Yeah.
And in fact, when I think of one example, it's R. Kelly, and he was convicted.
Yeah.
So
he might be the most famous example outside of Harvey Weinstein.
Or Bill Cosby, also convicted.
Yeah.
But I also see people saying, he deserved all of this backlash and to ruin his career because he was dating white women.
What?
Yeah.
Who said
they were like, oh, you mess with white women and then you're gonna find out how they treat us.
People are so
or whatever. Like, why does everything
weird.
have to be filtered through
Race.
a narrative of racial animus instead of just like an incident between two individuals?
The other thing that says is they said they have this is my other take on the lawyer. This is the other thing that I read was they said that they've got the irrefutable proof that she hit him or that she scratched him and hit him.
To steal the phone.
And tried to steal the phone, so he got scratched. Why didn't they post pictures? They should have immediately taken pictures of him covered in scratches. And
maybe there weren't
those.
any marks.
That's what I'm saying. But if you did they not do their job? If it was such a serious incident that she ended up getting hurt, you'd think he would at least have some type of scratch mark on him, even if it's small.
Yeah, maybe, but you never know.
It's also his lawyer's husband is his new PR crisis rep, which just feels like he's like it's like a.
Can he not find anybody to help him out?
Yeah,
what's going on?
You'd think that. Do you think that Marvel will end up getting rid of this guy, or do you think that they'll end up sticking?
They
with
haven't
him?
even hinted at thinking about it.
I think what this is not meant to be crass or rude, but the luck they have is the amount of time between these productions, meaning that like
by the time the next
Kang Dynasty doesn't come out till 2025. So they've got time for this to
get memory hold.
To theoretically die down. His court date is coming up on May 8th, I believe it said. So he will be back in court to deal with this very soon. It says Majors. Oh, I'm going to read the source and just give you a breakdown of what they said from the district attorney's office. They said the prospect of more women coming forward and waiting in the wings would mark a dramatic turn in the case. And I think for this situation, it's only going to get worse as it goes on because I don't see how it gets pulled down from now. Like now it's becoming a thing. Like it's kind of actually, you know what? I'm gonna rephrase that. When we covered Ezra Miller, I was like, why is nobody talking about this? And this feels like everyone's like more people are talking about this than talked about Ezra Miller. And there was objectively more proof of his bad behavior than there is of Jonathan Majors.
Sorry, could you repeat that?
There's objectively more proof of what Ezra Miller did, i.e. a video of him actually chokeslamming a woman at a bar.
Well, there's that one, but all of the other stuff is about corroborating.
But also the
witnesses.
chair throwing incident. There was a video of the chair throwing incident.
That wasn't published, but yeah. I assume that was from the bar.
So there's more evidence of that than there is of what's going on here. And Marvel just has to wait on the sidelines and hope that it blows over?
I think that it's going to be the same strategy from both. Just ignore and then shoot the focus over to somebody else.
Yeah. They said the Majors got home at 11:13 a.m. and found her unconscious and naked on the floor of his walk-in closet. He also discovered she allegedly threw up in his bed and told him she'd taken a few sleeping tablets. He called 911 and claimed the paramedics arrived, and the woman repeatedly told them, "I don't know," when they asked what happened to her. Look, I've taken my share of Ambien in my lifetime, and you can absolutely wake up and have no clue what the hell happened to you. That's a real thing.
How does she recall now what happened in the taxi cab?
Well, remember, she's recanted her statement, right? Like she's already said actually.
Well, in that case, her recanting her statement has a replacement of the news story.
Exactly, the news story.
So if she can't remember, where is the news story coming from?
This
coming
is not
from Jonathan Majors.
And that's not even the biggest part of the story. At the end, it says the document Chaudhry, that's his lawyer, also claims that they have claims body cam footage shows police interviewing the woman and clearly coaching her on to say that Majors grabbed her by the throat. So that release that footage then. then it gets thrown out, but it won't matter
It's
because
giving
the
Evan
new
Rachel Wood
vibes.
Yeah.
But I'm not. I've caught up on the language of Gen Z. I haven't caught up on the language of Gen Z to not add the vibes part at the end of it's giving.
Vibes.
I always add the vibes part. Look, if that's true, it doesn't matter. As stupid as it is, and of course that makes those cops corrupt AF.
I mean, yeah.
It doesn't matter because now the new claims have come forward and that will be what they lean on if they're not even using this to prosecute anyway. Remember, the DA's gone forward even with her recanting her statement.
Yeah.
So it's all a mess and it's going to keep going on.
The story of her like making cheating accusations, threatening sewer slide, it's like a dispute that I don't think the public should be
privy to.
Yeah, privy to.
Like we're just kind of like really
and honestly, like the police should kind of stay out of it too. It seems like they were both just being a toxic mess.
Like it's like a weird morbid like looking from the inside.
Like toxic relationships exist where one person isn't abusing the other person. They're both abusing each other and themselves, and we can't legally adjudicate on that.
It's also just funny, like the broken finger I have no idea why his lawyer is pointing out the finger thing like it's some big W. Like I said, I mentioned this the other day. I've broken all my fingers and still had to go to work and pick things up. I mean,
even that. How do we prove that the broken finger was from that altercation and not from while she was out clubbing later
or passed out drunk on sleeping pills,
passed out in the closet?
Yeah,
she fell.
Yeah, that's happening. Like I'll tell you a story, and this is going to be okay. There was a time back in my bad old days where I literally like fell and clipped the corner of like on the shirt there. Stink bug right there. Got it.
What?
Looks like you got it. Okay. I slipped and cut the corner of a bathroom sink and cut my forehead. Like you do messed up crap when you're screwed up, and there would have to be damning evidence that proves that he did this for that to be the cause. Yeah. I think the bigger case here is what happens with these other women that have come forward. But if there's no evidence of this, the most recent example, there's likely not going to be any corroborating evidence of those, right? Like unless they have videos of it happening, it's just going to be he said, she said again.
This also reminds me of the Shia LaBeouf FKA Twigs case, which is, I just remembered, about to start, at least from the last reported date, in 3 days.
Do you think that the media will end up trying to make that one as big as they made Johnny Depp, Amber Heard?
I wonder.
I feel like we'd be hearing more about it already.
Her allegations just don't seem as extreme as the ones about Johnny Depp. No. Because the sexual battery part was about knowingly giving her an STD.
Well, if you're in
the rest of it, it just sounds like you're a traumatized, mentally ill former child star who is incapable of having a functional relationship.
That might not even be a crime.
That's not a crime. It's just kind of wrong.
No, I'm saying the part about, didn't California decriminalize knowingly giving someone AIDS? Like, or they made it a misdemeanor and not a felony.
Yeah, they made it, and that's
insane.
insane.
Yeah. It's California.
That's crazy.
So if
stay safe out there.
If as California goes, so goes the world. Go somewhere else because you don't want to be in California. It's bad. Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.